Session. We'll take a quorum count. Mr. Ortega.
Present.
Mr. Tremblay.
Present.
Mr. Gay.
Here, sir.
Ms. Ball.
Here.
And Mr. Tomasini, absent. He did call me and say that he would be away. We have a quorum. At this time, everybody would stand. Take item 13 and move it up above item 4. Is there?
I'll make a motion that we move item 13 up to ahead of number 4.
Is there a second on that? A second by Mr. Tremblay. All those in favor? Unanimous. Okay. We don't have a very long list for people to be heard. At this time, I would like to, on the list, I would like to have Mr. Scott Dye. Mr. Scott Dye is a civil engineer working for Dollar General. Good news, Mr. Dye.
Well, I'm Scott Dye. Well, thank you for having me at short notice. I really do appreciate that. Thank you. And, welcome. It's a new city, so I'm sure it's very exciting. So I know Dollar General is excited to become part of the community. We, as you well know, and maybe for those that don't, is when you come in on New Mathis Road, Barrett Priest Road, Dollar General is under contract to purchase the actually, it's a Dollar General developer that develops the Dollar General store, and then Dollar General will lease that back, is the way I understand that will work. But it'll be on the corner, the south corner there of Priest Road and Mathis Road. And so we have, what I brought with me is they've already got their plans drawn. They're anxious to get started, and I'm kind of here to introduce that to everyone, but also kind of needing some guidance from the city as to how we need to proceed maybe from this moment forward to get, I wanted to maybe just briefly ask the council maybe something, give me some input about zoning, planning, and building permit matters, and maybe what process we need to follow in order to expeditiously be able to get building permits and get the store on the ground. They're ready to start, as soon as we get a building permit, they're ready to start construction. So it's what they will do, as soon as they get a building permit, they close on the property, they will close, take ownership, and they begin construction. So part of their scheme is to do that. So that's where they're at right now. I do have a set of plans if y'all are interested in looking. Fine. If you would like me to stick around for a little while after the meeting, I'll be glad to do that. I don't know how long your meeting is going to be for, but I'll be glad to do that if you'd like. But I'd like to what I'd like to be able to leave with today is maybe a process we need to follow. So I don't know what all has been put in place. I know you, so I'll be quiet and let you.
As I understand it, there are no building restrictions as far as permits for you to construct a building because you're outside the city limits. You're in the county. The only thing that was going to require permitting is going to be your septic tank, your septic system. And I don't know that we haven't adopted any zoning restrictions. We'd ask that you follow all fire and safety codes. We possibly could at some point ask the fire department to conduct routine inspections while your construction is going. I would recommend that to the council, and if you don't have any problems with that, speak to your counterparts. Just like
It's not an agenda item, so that we can't be discussing it right now, but I agree with what you're saying. I can get with you. I'm planning a
was talking to our legal defense, he's on the way, he's tied up in traffic and all. And he told me that we cannot even add this to the agenda even if we wanted to today. We had allow the public notice that we're gonna put this on.
Right.
So we're probably looking on the outside, probably Monday, of getting a special meeting and getting what you're looking for. Go ahead.
Would you prefer then that I just come back on that, you'll notify me at the special meeting, or if I need to make formal request then, and that's fine. We'll do whatever we need to expedite.
That would probably be the best, yes.
Okay. All right, well, thank you.
Okay.
If you would like me to stick around, I can. If you,
I'm sure a lot of people would like to talk to you about what's gonna go on, or what's planned on going on.
well, sure, I'll stick around for a while.
Sure, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we both voted.
Okay. B.J. Gillespie?
Shane Mr. Martinez Rivera is here. He's repeatedly stopped the mayor from speaking during the public opinion portion of these meetings, stating it's prohibited for the council members to speak during this portion. This is from the top legal questions received by the Texas Municipal League's Legal Services Division. And it quoted Texas Government Code 551.042. City officials may respond to questions asked during the public comment period only with factual statements, a recitation of existing city policy, or by placing the subject on the agenda for a future meeting. So I don't know who is prohibiting y'all from any factual statements, or if anybody has a problem making a factual statement. But I think this needs to be addressed with Mr. Martinez Rivera, because what he's told us is not correct. Also, I noticed on the agenda is the garbage issue again. Anybody that wants garbage pickup has it. I don't want to be paying the city of San Diego a fee to have my garbage picked up. What will happen, sure you can negotiate a cheaper price. Right now, I've got Tiger. It costs me about $7 a week. They furnish a bin, they pick it up, they've got to pay taxes, gasoline, employees out of $7 a week. Now, if they cut $1 off of that for the city of San Diego, who's going to suffer? It's going to be the guy out there picking up the garbage. Plus, it gives the city of San Diego the opportunity to assess a fee for collecting that garbage. And if you don't pay it, the city can then put a lien on your properties. And after a lien on your properties comes foreclosures. So if the city wants to do anything with the garbage so far as a bulk pickup, which we desperately need, I'm for it. But regular garbage pickup, come up with an ordinance and address the properties that are not taking care of the garbage. But don't be sticking your hand in my pocket.
Well said, B.J.
Thank you, Ms. Gillespie. Cliff Stevens?
You know, we're talking reference to the notice we got in the mail about the meeting of the Waterwood Park Homeowners Association. I don't understand it. I got the bylaws here, and I tried to read through them. I don't think I'm any dumber or smarter than any of the other property owners, but it all has terminology and all that I don't understand. So I don't know what the bylaws say, and I don't think it's right to have a vote before we have a meeting and try to, you know, break these down in layman's terms so somebody can understand what they say. I don't know, you know, I don't like the way that if you got a no vote's a yes for you, that's kind of backwards, because so many people that's lived here so long are so tired of trying to do anything, they just give up, so they throw it in the trash, and it's automatically a yes vote. Now, I'm not saying these bylaws are good or bad, of what they say, I have no idea. Like I said, it's got terminology and stuff that's beyond my skill level here. And then the way it is, you know, we're trapped into doing it no matter what. I don't think that's right. It's just like you said, it's like a dictatorship. We don't have a chance to know what we're voting on. And I'd like to have a meeting before the 15th and discuss this. You know, I said, I don't know whether it's good or bad. I can't tell, because I don't understand the bylaws. I got up here, maybe wants to look at them, what we're supposed to vote on. But it just doesn't sound right the way it is to me.
I agree. I agree.
Thank you. Ms. Lamorelle Recio?
Okay, I have several subjects. First of all, I contacted Miss Mickey Ball because forgetting that I'm a new property owner as of April, I saw on December 31st, today was the deadline to pay your county taxes. In a panic, I called my mortgage company and they said, ma'am, we've escrowed your taxes and we appreciate your call, but they were paid in November. I said, well, now what happens that we're a new city? How is my city tax going to be escrowed? They said, well, until we get something on legal letterhead from your city with a proposed tax rate, we cannot begin the escrow. Mickey told me we do not have a current tax rate. It is my opinion with a foreclosure attorney on retainer that at the end of the year is when that tax rate will be determined. When everybody is about to be laid off or put on vacation for a couple weeks, buying their families Christmas presents, paying off their tax bills, paying off other bills, we're going to get slapped with a tax rate. And those of us who haven't saved or don't have the money are going to get foreclosed on right after the first of the year. So I demand that we all stand strong together and force the city council to give us that tax rate as soon as possible. Because as far as I'm concerned, right now we have a zero tax rate for January, February, March, until they decide. I do not want it to be retroed back to January on December 31st. That's the first topic. Rumors of zoning have been coming to my attention. I've heard that because we have so minimal commerce that some of our residences may be zoned eventually down the road as commercial properties, which means the city will be collecting commercial taxes from us during the time that we're paying off our mortgages. Our homes then later on, for example, my 25-year plan to sell it as a residential home and retire won't be possible. I will have to sell my home in the middle of Shady Forest as a commercial property. Good luck trying to get somebody to move into a neighborhood and open a business and sell that for what I'm paying for it now. So I'm concerned about that and everybody should pay close attention. Thirdly, as far as bylaws, I agree with you. You send us a letter at the end and the beginning, the end of one year and the beginning of another. You give us bylaws which has terminology that is hard for a lot of people to understand. For those of us who would like to take our time and read it, giving us 7 to 14 days to make a decision is not fair. I also find, Mr. Mayor, there is a severe conflict of interest. How can you be on a sitting city council collecting our tax dollars and then say that you are the president of the WPPOA? Are you trying to be the master of all, controlling everything in this community? I don't think that's legal, right, or fair, and I promise you, if it's the last thing I do this year, I will prove that you cannot be on both entities. So I hope everyone will stand with me, and I hope I have your support. I've reached out to a lot of members in the community on short notice that could not be here tonight. Please follow my blogs and keep in touch with me, because I will be taking this as far as I have to take it. Thank you.
Okay, Ms. Lamorelle. I'll be very clear. The one thing that I can't be is an elected official on 2 taxing organizations.
You signed president of the WPPOA on the letters that came in our mailbox, sir. How are you the president of the WPPOA and a sitting mayor? When you're no longer even the elected, you're just WPPO president by default. No one's even had a chance to read the bylaws to see if we can even have a new person run. You should have dropped that position when you took city council seat.
No.
Yes, you should
No,
have.
I didn't have to.
You should have.
No, I didn't
You
have
should
to.
have. Maybe
Yes,
you don't have
yes,
to, but it's a
okay.
serious conflict of interest, sir.
Why do you have to yell?
Then I consider.
Because he's a dishonest man, and I'm tired of dealing with dishonesty. Errors and mistakes and lies, sir.
Oh,
We all are.
No, you shouldn't even respond.
Okay. One scribbled out here. Okay. Ms. Rendall?
Yes, I'll keep mine fairly short. Mine is a follow-up to what I spoke about in December. I had thought, just by reading through our various agendas, I couldn't read all of the minutes because some of them haven't been delivered yet. But if you'll pass those down, please. I have a copy for everybody. These are the items that have been dropped from our agendas in 2014. There's more than one or two. A number of different reasons for them, but a lot of items have simply been dropped. They appear on the agenda, they disappear, and they're never discussed again. And we have got to do better than that this year. If an item is deemed important enough to go on the agenda, it must remain there until some kind of resolution is in effect. Something. Now, on there, I did not put the tabled items. That was a resolution. But we have items that were postponed. We have items that were postponed twice and then disappeared. We have one item about fireworks that was postponed until January. Is that on January's agenda? No, it's not. So we're starting the same thing all over again.
Thank you.
I sent you all a list. I had put all that together and sent every one of you a list.
All members of the Waterwood Park Property Owners Association, and later went on to form a Sandy Oaks Political Action Committee and a committee for the incorporation of Sandy Oaks, all done sub rosa. And then after collecting signatures, which incidentally were never checked for validity to my knowledge, scheduled an election to approve or disapprove incorporation so quickly and purposely that organized opposition was impossible. Communication among voters was impossible. In the subsequent election of aldermen, 5 of them and the mayor promulgated several dirty tricks, including filing an ethics violation against one of the candidates for a minor breach, while they themselves committed several other such ethics breaches. Those breaches included promulgating outright falsehoods, as will be demonstrated on January 15th at the WPPOA meeting, when our mayor accepts a vote allowing WPPOA to start collecting a fee of $180 a year, a fee that the Committee for the Incorporation of Sandy Oaks promised us would go away. It has become obvious that this mayor should not be holding the job, as he is either dishonest or incompetent, and the city council is apparently unwilling to do anything about it. However, this does not surprise me, as at least one alderman has stated publicly that the only people in this community that matter are the ones who vote. Presumably, he is perfectly willing to allow a steel boot to be placed on the necks of those who do not vote or for various reasons cannot vote. There'll be copies of this back here.
I asked the city council question the mayor's capabilities and his position, and start amongst yourselves, because the city's not happy.
Hurtado Novia, is that correct?
The issues have been addressed already.
Okay. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, we'll start with item 4 on the agenda. Approve the minutes of the City Council meeting for December 11th, 2014. Do we have any questions on those minutes, or we're ready to take it?
Yeah,
Vote on it? Go.
Item 8, on the minutes, agenda item 8, where it talks about Mr. Dwayne Robinson, who was here at our last meeting. It says that item will be added to the next agenda. I'm not sure what the item was going to be, and I don't see it on the agenda. I mean, I see, the agenda to me is a little bit confusing in how it's written. I've never seen it done this way before.
do want it to be pulled and
Well, no, no, no,
Number
it's,
7.
so it's not even, it's really not on here, even though the minutes say that it'll be on the next agenda, but I don't know what
It's
we
the
were going to
interlocal,
add.
interlocal agreement,
The interlocal agreement,
Yeah.
okay.
which is down
I see it right here, number 7, okay. Can we discuss some of the items, like number 10?
Sure.
We took no action on the city marshal position.
That's correct.
Okay. Is it always gonna be that way, or are we gonna do something?
We're gonna,
Okay.
do something. I'm waiting to find out if the.
Oh, the background check.
The background check, yes.
Okay, perfect.
I'll see if I got any contacts left down there, sure. You just give me his, I need his name, I got his address, I believe. It's-
I think he gave us all a packet,
Yeah, he gave us the packet.
yeah, with all his information.
Okay, I know what you're talking about, yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay, I don't have any other questions on the 11th.
Okay, I'm waiting to find out if the GML insurance thing has been paid for by the anonymous.
Is that on this, is that on this one, or is that on,
It's on the,
isn't it on the 15th?
Maybe on your next one.
yeah, it'll be on. Yeah, it's on the 15th.
Oh, no, it's item 11 on this meeting notes here.
Okay, any other questions on the minutes of the 11th?
I'll make the motion, we accept the minutes for the December 11th meeting.
Okay, Mr. Gay moved to accept the minutes for the 11th, December 11th, 2014. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Okay. We have a motion by Mr. Gay, seconded by Ms. Ball. And any other comments? If not, all those in favor? Unanimous? Okay, item number 5, December 11th, 2014, agenda item. The correction has been made in the minutes. That was a date change in the minutes.
Okay.
We recommend approval on that.
Do we have a copy of those minutes? Aren't these the
Yeah.
October 9th minutes that we're waiting
Yeah,
on?
that was copied then.
No, I don't have a copy yet for
Okay.
Well, can we approve on faith that it was done, or do we need to see them?
That's up to you. I would say.
I think we need to see them.
Okay.
So I'll make a motion that we postpone this one till the next meeting.
Okay, we have a motion to postpone item 5 till next meeting. Have a second?
Yeah, I'll second it.
Mr. Gay, second. All those in favor? Unanimous? Item 6, another carryover from December 11th, 2014 agenda. Advertisement, Mr. Martinez Tavares is to check on advertising on the computer and using the law schools We're waiting for him to arrive. Anybody who's left Austin in the middle of the day or in the evening knows what the traffic is like. So, I'll hold that item open until he gets here,
Oh, he is coming?
Yes, he's on the way.
Okay.
Yeah, he called me just a little bit ago.
and if not, we'll carry it over to the next meeting, so.
Difficult to get here from Austin.
Item 7, which is great. Okay, item 7 on the agenda from the December 11th, 2014 agenda, the interlocal agreement. We still have some things that we weren't able to get before, probably still the same. It's difficult.
Nothing has changed, although as issues arise, I'm reaching out to Dwayne Robinson, kind of as between him and Sylvia Mendelson, to kind of use those as a means to engage the county to help us with some issues.
Okay.
My personal opinion, I don't think we're ever going to see it. I think it's too far gone.
I'm beginning to think the same.
But in defense of the county, there are things that we would like for them to do. I just don't know that they're going to do them. Like, we'd like to be able to pick up the phone and say, hey, come take care of this. I don't think that's something they want to take on.
Bridges have been
What I'm
burned.
trying to get from them is at least provide us resources that we can work with so we can develop a similar program within our community. We may need some insight, some, animal control. I got a call from a resident about a dog that had been dead on New Mathis Road for 2 weeks, wanting to know when we're going to pick it up. And
Mickey, it's actually an obstacle course now throughout the neighborhood of dead dogs and potholes.
no, I understand the potholes are getting bigger. The potholes are getting
I'm gonna
bigger.
put cones up and take pictures.
So the bottom line is, I doubt that we will ever have them step up to provide services, but I do want to engage them as resources to help us do the best programs we can here, if nothing else.
I think you've done a good job in trying to get this thing done, and when they I think they backed off right after May, when they first got together, and a list was developed, and nothing was done, even through August, and then September. I was sure we weren't going to get anything out of them then, but we had to try.
Well, I had heard from numerous sources that those resources would be available to us, and that turned out not to be the case.
Yeah, well, I just heard the same thing yesterday. Okay. Does anybody want to hear anything else? I think we can close this.
Well, without Mr. Martinez-Navarro here, I'm not quite sure how we actually do that, other than just say no action taken, and then it's just not on the agenda for follow-up.
Okay.
Is he really the attorney
we
for
can-
us
we-
with
we
him
can
being
do
so
that.
busy now?
Yeah, let's do no action,
Okay.
because there wasn't a call for a vote or anything on that.
Okay, so we're going to carry that as no action item. Okay, item number 8 on the agenda, December 11th, item 9 off the December 11th, 2014 agenda. That's my item on the heavy traffic on Priest Road by the large, through traffic by the large trucks. I think after the discussion we had last month, I think I would approve in pulling.
Well, I think we, according to the notes here, The motion was to table it, so.
Yeah. Yeah, it's stable, but it's back. This nothing.
Why is it?
I think that, I would, at this time, think that we should.
Have that on
we-
our next notes or minutes that we're gonna approve. So on that particular item on the agenda, there's just no action on it.
Yeah. Item number 10 on the agenda, discuss and consider issuing requests for RFQs for solid waste collection and methods of payment of the collection for the city of Sandy Oaks. Do we have any discussion on that? We had one citizen talk on it.
Yeah, that was that's gonna be a matter of contention throughout our city, no matter what you end up doing, whether you end up going with a single carrier, and, you know, ask them if they will include in their contract, I guess they would it be to have a solid waste or have any kind of recycling also done with it. I can understand the problem that most people have with saying you have to go with a particular carrier. Excuse me. How we get around that, I don't know. Right now we have probably 4 companies that come through here, and these companies are running their trucks up and down the streets on usually about 3 different days. And we also have several companies that are running the dumpsters, whether the dumpsters are on the pieces or the person's property or whether they're out on the street and they're dumping them. How you resolve that equitably, I don't know. I know right now if you require everybody to have a particular company, you know, how do you make sure that everybody is paying their share or paying theirs, that you don't have 2 people side by side sharing it? I really don't know how you're going to get around that issue.
That never happened.
The guy in front that built that big house at Press dumped all his stuff in the back.
Yeah, no, that was on a private individual and Waterwood themselves.
What about the fire and the explosion of the gas tanks in the park from the
That
very?
was, Ms. Lamoureux, that was a huge brush pile out.
But it's still there, Mr. Clemens, I have the
No,
pictures.
no, please, I know. The pile that was there before is not there now.
So if I get metal detectors at my expense and I detect metal in that pile under the brush, will you swallow those words?
There probably is, okay? But that is not the pile that was on fire and the exploding gas cylinders.
So we
That-
moved
that-
we moved the garbage
Please, ma'am.
essentially.
Please, ma'am, will you allow me to finish talking? That pile was on fire. 3 different volunteer fire departments were down here fighting it. And there were gas cylinders, and little barbecue gas cylinders and things in that fire. And they were exploding around the volunteer firemen. That was something that never should have happened, and it was blamed on 2 children. That was not children, because the entire maintenance crew were down here, and they had the backhoe out there. The fire got away from them. But,
So did the dump
yes,
trucks and stuff come and dig holes and haul all that, what was left, because metal doesn't burn, so did they haul all that out, or did they just bury it over with new brush?
I have no idea what they did.
Thank you. I believe
I
it's
have no
still to be
idea.
in the park.
It's very possible it could be in the park.
Well,
It
that's
was-
all I'm simply saying. I have photos where there's heavy piles of brush, which I believe to be where that trash should be. And this is where our children play. These are issues that we need to be talking about. Not sexually oriented businesses, not zoning, commercial or residential properties. You did, a couple times now. We have bigger issues at hand. making this a safe residential community for people to live and serve, making sure that park is safe. Adults don't even want to jog in there anymore. I know a few neighbors who now are going to the military bases to do their running and swimming because that park is not safe for them either. The benches are falling down, there's garbage everywhere, there's thorns everywhere, there's graffiti everywhere, the basketball court. There are issues at hand that are more precedenting than some of these things that keep getting
Ms.
postponed.
Lambo, Ms. Lambo, the time for open forum was earlier, so this is not the time to
This is,
discuss that.
Okay. What do we want to do with this, these things?
I think we need to look at zoning and having people take care of their own stuff responsibly before we try and force them to go with the city-run garbage collection.
I think we should
agree with
just table it.
solid waste, yes, but we need to look at zoning. I got people right on my block who got trash out there, been there for 3
Neighbor
months.
across the
I
street.
see that right there on the corner.
But that's the stuff we need to be dealing with, and if we pass some zoning where we can address it as a city, impose fines for people who don't want to take care of their trash, we do it that way. The solid brush collection for large items, those are the things we need to do where we don't have a service for that, and it's not affordable for us to have someone come pick up large items from our residents.
Right.
Yeah, I think in the future, we can look at what it costs to contract that.
Well, in the past, and we've heard about the trash collection that we used to have twice a year down here in the park. That was paid for by the county.
We may still be able to get that from the county. That's one thing we may still.
That was paid for by the county, and because it was done by the county, it was not solely restricted to the citizens of Waterloo at that time.
If it was
You had-
paid
you
for
had
by
to-
the county, how come we had to pay $5 a load to use it?
And they'd be turned away when they didn't have their coupon to dump the trash, is what I was told.
What was that?
The people had to pay $5 to bring their trash to dump it, and then those who had prepaid for the coupon to dump the trash, if they had lost their coupon, had to pay the $5 fee again. Remember that was brought up in the park meeting? There was a lot of furious people about that, saying the whole system didn't work. A lot of people were left with truckfuls of garbage and nowhere to put it. Which essentially probably ended up in the park or buried in their
Well,
backyards.
I wasn't really trying to delve into that, but you're
That's
probably...
the WPPOA
Excuse
matter,
me,
sir,
please.
that you were
Excuse
president
me,
of.
please. I was going to address what you had to say, but you keep butting in and interrupting when somebody is trying to respond to your question or an answer that you had given that might have needed clarification. And I was about to say that, yes, you might be possibly right, because there were times when that was going on. And when this collection in the park, and a lot of people don't know, 2 times a year, 200 tons of trash went out of this subdivision. 200 tons, that's 400 tons a year. The city, the county went over budget cleaning that stuff up. And we had a grand total of 10 people volunteering to work to make sure that all that trash was either put in the proper pile or in the proper dumpster. And believe me, I do not see one of them people in this room tonight, okay?
Actually, you
Not-
see 2
not
of them,
one.
buddy.
We were volunteers.
You see 2 of them.
Well, I was at every single one, and I apologize.
Go ahead and tell me you didn't see either one of us.
You spoke to us. We sat at a
If-
picnic
if-
We
table
sat at the
and
table
talked.
out there and talked to you.
Don, if you would allow me, I said, if I missed it, I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry.
Grant you that.
Sir, you're the president of WPPOA, you should have that information as well as being the mayor of the city. You are acting in both positions. You cannot say, I'm not sure, I don't know. For the last 18, 20 years, you've been the president of WPPOA. Stop dodging those
No, I have
questions.
not been the
Okay,
president
okay.
in 18
We
years.
are outside of-
I consider that item is dead.
Without a vote?
Without a vote?
Are we back on the bulk collection? Are we back on the bulk
Yeah, well,
collection?
we're gonna go back to talking about our bulk collection here.
Well, here's my thought. It's hard to impose on every resident to partake of the services that we're offering for a fee, because we don't have a means to collect it. We have no way to collect it. But when the bill comes due from whoever wins the bid, we have to pay for it, and we don't have money to pay for it. So I think that proposition may be something in the future, but putting out RFQs to talk about the biannual bulk collection, I think is a good idea. I think that's something, even if the residents had to pay for it, or even by then, we as a city may have some general funds available to do that.
I would think that would probably be something where you would have to have certain locations throughout the community where you could have people bring it. I'm not sure. The park is a very good place.
That's where the RFQ, I think, would come in there. We could ask them, what would they charge to go street by street to pick it up, or what would they charge to pick it up at a central location?
Right.
You know,
I know the city of San Antonio does, maybe like once a month or
well, once every 6
put
months
outside.
you get bulk picked up. Well, one is just strictly brush, the other is any bulk item that you have.
Mickey, was that an item on the list of services requested from the county?
It was
I think we need to approach the county commissioner.
about that
Or
one.
a county commissioner about the list that we submitted in writing.
And they have
Ask
it.
them for the courtesy of just responding in writing by line item,
Yeah.
what they can and cannot do before we just say, okay, when we raise our hand, we say, okay, we're just gonna accept it. You're not gonna do anything for us.
Right.
I think we need to probably go ahead and set up a meeting, you and I, we're a committee,
Okay.
and let's meet with Chico.
With Chico,
We
yeah.
have a new commissioner over on the east side district, who will probably be one.
Did Tony Calvert win that?
Excuse me?
Did Tony Calvert win that one?
Yes.
Okay.
But,
Nice man.
I'll, if you're willing, let's you and I try to tackle that. And
Okay.
sit down with commissioners and tell them we're not getting a response.
Yeah,
Well, I think we've gone the route that he asked us to go.
yes, we
And
did.
we haven't been
And we're not
successful in
getting-
getting a
We're
response.
not getting it.
No.
And I honestly, I've kind of attributed it to a couple of things, but the most recent item would be the election. Because, what was her name? Susan
Reed?
Reed is out, and
Right.
Nico just got sworn in, so there's that transition that's happening, which I think is, because it involves his office to sign off on that. But I agree, we should get with Chico and see if he helps.
There was always the suggestion of the work release that was promised to us, street campaign.
Ms. Lamro, please.
I don't think
I
so.
don't want.
But I just make a motion that we
I don't want prisoners out.
postpone this item to the next meeting, and
Yes.
I'll try and schedule a meeting with the county commissioner.
You can have better luck than I have.
We'll have a
He's
response
refused,
for the
he's
next
refused.
month.
Okay,
So that's my motion.
I'll second your motion, Mr. President.
Okay, so,
Okay.
motion
Postpone till the February meeting.
Ernest.
Everybody? Yeah. And you're gonna try and.
Right, I'll try to set up a meeting with Commissioner Rodriguez, myself, and Alderman Ball. And hopefully we'll have some answer done for the next meeting in February. That's my motion.
Okay, so,
Seconded.
We have a motion in a second.
yeah, we have a motion and a second from Mr. Tremblay. And he's going to set up a meeting, try to set up a meeting with the county commissioner and to see what the county can do for us out here.
So the hold of this on our request.
Right.
Second.
Okay. Any further discussion on this item? All those in favor? Unanimous? Okay. Item 11 on the agenda, discuss and consider forming a committee to investigate an ordinance for noise abatement in the city of Sandy Oaks. I'm sure everybody remembers around Christmas time. We had the sheriff out here. Were you on vacation, BJ?
No, I was there.
It was unbelievable. 3 o'clock in the morning. BJ's closest neighbor across the street. It was rattling the windows in my house. There's no call for that, not at 3:30 in the morning.
You know, that wasn't, it wasn't coming from where you thought it was. It was louder at my house, probably the nearest. It was back behind me on Sun Circle on that cul-de-sac.
Well,
That's how far away from your house that was coming from.
the neighbor of Mr. Cantu.
Yeah. Well, the loudest was back there on Sun Circle, and I'll guarantee you it was probably rattling in there.
You're talking about party and music type noise?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'd like to add to that, the fireworks that begin about the December the 15th and are still continuing to this day
Yes, sir.
are more than a nuisance around my house.
Midnight.
Maybe
last
we should
night.
take a vote on not having fireworks in the community. I think we brought that up once before.
You were supposed to do that this month.
I would really be against that. I do think that.
Believe me, I'm not against the fireworks on New Year's Eve or on the 4th of July. It's the 10 and 15 days before and the 10 and 15 days after, then it really becomes a nuisance. It really does.
The way it is.
When they make quiet fireworks, I'm all
Do
for
that
it.
fireworks. Oh,
Wouldn't hurt my feelings.
I think that in the near future, you're going to see a statewide push to go down all the way. Hard to live with.
But I don't know any city that allows it.
Right.
An incorporated area, I don't know any incorporated areas that allow fireworks.
Either sold or to be shot off.
Okay, we'll have to
But as
consider.
far as passing an ordinance for noise abatement, unless we have a means of enforcing it, it really serves no purpose.
Well,
Until we get a marshal, I don't think we can
Right.
start passing ordinances.
But I think
Part of the thing that I was thinking about also is first we have to establish what is ambient before you can say what is excessive.
Sure, I mean, there's a DB level,
Yeah.
anything above 97, I believe, is excessive.
Yeah, but, and that's just, when you talk about DB, that's more relative than a DBM level. And so I would say that 97 is
And then
quite
based on
loud,
that,
yes.
you really, then you have to set a time. So you
Yeah.
set a time and you set a limit. Again, until we have a means or a person to enforce it, just think
Okay,
Right.
we're spinning our wheels.
okay, so then at this time, I'll just put a no action on it. Okay, Mr. Martinez Navarro is with us now. We can go back to item 6 on the agenda. It's item 7 on the December 11th, 2014 agenda. Advertisement, that's the one advertising on computer and using the law schools.
Right. Yeah, St. Mary's will post it. You just have to send it to their, and then you can utilize they have what's called a career center. And you can post any position in there. You have to register.
So Charlotte, did you do that?
I'll look at the St. Mary's. There's a link on the name right now.
And can we advertise on the computer, on the website?
Oh, on our website? Oh, yeah.
Okay, you gonna send me an ad?
Yes.
Okay. Well, Well, no, because I did receive an email from somebody who was asking about positions that were gonna be available in the city,
Sure.
and my only response was, any positions will be posted on the website. I mean, I don't have anything else to offer on that.
Okay. Yeah, we can, then obviously it should be the same one that we post everywhere.
Right.
Any other discussion on that?
The only action, how do we address this one, Mr. Martinez-Barr? There's no action by the council other than Charlotte's going to register on TML.
Correct. If you, that's all you have to, if you want, you can vote to instruct them. I'm sure she'll be leaving.
I get item 11. Item 12. I've been waiting on this one. Request some information on the anonymous donor, and has payment been made to TML for the first quarter risk pool coverage?
All payments were received. The payment hasn't been sent. We called and they said because when you went from 14 to 15, they had to send us a new contract. And so we're waiting for that. But everything's ready to go as soon as we get that, and the mayor needs to sign it. And I think that had changed in personnel as well. But we were in contact with them yesterday. They're saying this new. The last one was in October.
Well, I have a question. We have the December 15th meeting minutes, but nothing on the agenda to talk about. So I'm assuming that's going to be on a, well, we don't need the agenda for the 15th. We just need an item on the agenda to approve it. So that'll also be postponed, I assume.
Yeah, well,
I'd recommend that you add that one to the special meeting coming up.
yeah.
Can we
Okay,
do that? Can we do regular business during a special meeting?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, then, before we adjourn, I'm planning on having, because of the good news on Dollar General wanting to break ground as rapidly as possible, I would like to have a special meeting on Monday. Would that be agreeable to everyone? I know it's kind of quick.
7 o'clock?
7 o'clock.
Okay. Yeah, we have to have all 4 of us here for, because I don't know.
For a special meeting, there has to be 4.
That's before.
Pardon?
There has to be
Has
4
to be
for a
at
special
least one.
meeting.
Yeah. That's what I said. I don't know if Doug is going to be back from his vacation.
No, he
I don't know.
he told me he's gonna be missing this meeting and he'll be off for the week, the
So that's the
upcoming week.
12th of January?
Yeah.
Yeah,
At what time?
It's
7,
Okay. And you,
and it'll be just a couple of agenda items. One of them will be really quick, 2 of them have to do with minutes. And then we're gonna be dealing with
Dollar General.
Dollar
Is it
General.
Dollar General? Is that who's looking?
Correct.
Dollar General, okay.
To be a new Dollar General store, yes.
There's just so many of them that got dollar in their names that sometimes we get confused.
Family Dollar.
Okay. Well, sir,
Okay, so
you're done with everything. I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
Okay, I will.
I'll second.
Okay, adjourn.
Before Ms. B.J. Gillespie gets to confront Mr. Martinez with her statement, he wasn't here when she brought it
No,
up.
that's,
She can talk to
She
him.
can talk to him
she
after.
can talk to him after. Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Gay, seconded by